Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a really big question. How do we actually know if an AI is doing a good job? I mean, with AI becoming such a huge part of our work lives, getting this right is, well, everything.
Just think about it for a second. We've got AI agents popping up everywhere, scheduling meetings, handling customer service, you name it. They're basically becoming our new coworkers. And that means we have to ask the same question we'd ask about any new team member. Are they any good?
And this is probably the best way to wrap your head around it. It turns out that grading an AI agent is a lot like evaluating a new employee. Seriously, you're looking at their performance, how reliable they are, and, if they're a good fit. So that's the framework we're going to use today.
So let's imagine it. We've just brought on our new AI coworker. We've given it a few starting tasks, but that big question is just hanging in the air. Is this thing actually a good fit for the team? Let's figure out how to answer that. Now, this can't just be a gut feeling, right? I mean, just like we'd put a new app or a website through its paces before launch, we have to formally measure our AI agent. We need real hard data to know if it's actually helping or just getting in the way. All right, it is time for that first all-important performance review. And we're going to start with the absolute basics, the fundamentals. Can this AI even do the core job it was hired for? So, metric number 1 on our checklist is the task completion rate. This sounds simple, but is probably the most important question of all. When you give the AI a job, does it actually get it done? And I mean all the way, from start to finish. No half measures. So, for instance, let's say our new AI is supposed to handle customer refunds. We throw 100 refund requests its way. If it correctly sorts out 92 of them, boom, its task completion rate is 92%. That's a real solid number we can use to grade its basic competence. Not bad. But just getting the task done is only half the battle. The next big question is how it does the job. And this is where efficiency comes into play. Is our AI coworker quick and resourceful? Or is it kind of slow, clunky, and burning through resources? And believe me, the difference can be night and day. A really efficient agent might find the data it needs in, say, 2 minutes, using just a few API calls. An inefficient one? It could take 10 minutes or more and use 3 times the resources to get the exact same result. I mean, which one would you rather have on your team? It's a no-brainer. Okay, so our AI gets the job done, and it's pretty efficient. That's a great start. But a truly great employee is more than just raw output, right? We also got to know if it plays well with its human colleagues. This is where we get into teamwork, and more importantly, trust. Because, let's be real, technical success means nothing if the experience is terrible. We have to measure user satisfaction. After a person actually uses the AI, how do they feel? Are they frustrated, confused, or do they feel like it actually helped them? That human side is absolutely critical. And yep, we can put a number on this too. An average score of 4.7 out of 5 from user feedback surveys, that's a fantastic signal. It tells us that people are actually having a good experience working with this thing. It's proving to be a good teammate. And that brings us to what might be the single most important question you can ask, one that goes way beyond just speed or satisfaction. Can you genuinely, 100% trust your new AI coworker not to mess something up badly? See, trust isn't some vague feeling. It's built on specific, safe behaviors. A trustworthy agent has to avoid doing harmful or wrong things. It should never just go and delete critical files, and it needs to have the common sense to ask for permission before it does something major. An agent without those guardrails, that's not an asset. That's a liability just waiting to happen. So, our AI is doing well. It's effective, efficient, people like it, and it's trustworthy. That's a solid B+ employee right there. But a true A player, they've got room to grow. So now we look beyond the day-to-day and start testing for resilience and future potential. What happens when things go sideways? You know, when the data it gets is messy or a system it needs suddenly goes down. How does our AI handle that kind of pressure? Does it just freeze up and crash, or does it adapt on the fly? We actually test for this on purpose. It's called robustness testing. First, you give it normal, clean data. Easy enough. Then, you throw it a curveball, some messy info, maybe some missing fields. A fragile agent will just break. But a robust one? It adapts smoothly, handles the weirdness, and keeps on going. That's the kind of resilience that really builds deep trust.
And this leads to our final and maybe most exciting quality of a great AI agent. Does it get better over time? Is it actually capable of learning from its own experience, from its successes and its failures?
And here's what that learning actually looks like. Check this out. In its first month on the job, this help desk AI took a certain amount of time to handle issues. But look, 3 months later, it's 20% faster. It's not just repeating the same steps over and over. It's optimizing. It's actually growing into the role. That is a game changer.
So, after we've looked at all these things, from basic competence to long-term learning, we can finally reach our verdict. Was this AI a good hire? And really, why does all of this evaluation stuff matter so much?
It matters because of this. And this is the absolute bottom line. The stakes are incredibly high. If you don't have a good way to evaluate it, you simply cannot tell if your AI agent is helping you or if it's silently hurting you. There's no in between.
So in the end, when we're grading an AI, we're really just looking for the same things we'd want in any amazing employee. We need it to be accurate. We need it to be efficient. It has to be safe. And it needs to be adaptable, able to learn and grow with the rest of the team.
So that's our explainer for today. The next time you find yourself using an AI, whether it's a chatbot, a digital assistant, whatever, just run it through this little mental checklist and ask yourself one simple question. Based on how it performs, would you hire it? Thanks for joining me.